For 6 months between 1982 and 1986, the night sky over the Hudson Valley just 1 hour north of New York City was filled with strange lights. It was the kind of thing that would make even seasoned investigators scratch their heads in bewilderment. Thousands of people saw these lights and some even managed to snap pictures of them. What did they see? Well, that's where things get strange because it seems what they saw depended on who was looking. It all began on New Year's Eve 1982 when a retired police officer from Kent, New York, spotted what he believed was an airplane moving unusually slowly above his home. He went out into his backyard to get a better look, and that's when he realized it wasn't an airplane at all. It was moving far too slowly and quietly, and the blinking lights at its wings didn't resemble any aircraft he'd ever seen. He watched it for a few minutes as it moved like a wingless plane, rising and falling with every movement. Then it turned and disappeared into the darkness. Now, this in itself might not have been so remarkable had it not been for the fact that over the next 6 months, there were going to be hundreds more sightings of similar objects. Most witnesses, like the retired cop, saw a slow-moving V-shaped object with brightly colored lights, usually white, blue, and red. But other reports said it was circular and capable of fantastic speeds or disappearing altogether. There was even one report of the object hovering about 30 feet above the Indian Point nuclear plant. Security supervisor Frank J. Workla was so sure that what he was looking at was a UFO that he considered shooting it down before it disappeared from sight. This strange event took place over a large area, including parts of Connecticut, Westchester County, and Rockland County. In total, there were about 5,000 eyewitnesses, which makes this one of the largest UFO sightings in history. So what exactly did they see? Strangely enough, it seems that depends on who you ask. One of the first people to investigate the sightings was astronomer Mark D. Antonio from the National UFO Reporting Center. According to Mark, most of the eyewitnesses described a slow-moving V-shaped object, about 47 meters wide with bright flashing lights, although some claimed it was circular. Mark interviewed many of the witnesses himself and even examined some of the photographs they had taken. While he couldn't say with certainty what the object was, he did note that the photographs showed a physical object and that there were no lens flares or reflections. Furthermore, given the large number of sightings and the fact that they took place over such a large area, it was highly unlikely that they were the result of mass hysteria. What about the military? Surely they had an explanation for these strange sightings. Well, according to retired Lieutenant Colonel John Salin, there was nothing in the radar that matched the descriptions of the witnesses. And while he couldn't rule out the possibility that the objects could have been secret military craft, he also noted that the general public wouldn't be able to keep up with the rapid development of military technology. So it was unlikely they would have mistaken a secret craft for a UFO. So are we dealing with extraterrestrial visitors here? Well, perhaps. But according to retired FBI agent John P. Creedy, there is another possible explanation. Objects that appear to be UFOs can often be explained as secret military craft. But that isn't always the case. Sometimes they really are extraterrestrial. John investigated thousands of UFO cases during his career, and he claims that in about 10% of them, the objects seen in the sky really were aliens. What's your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.